I've got a simple little avocado salad I make, and surprisingly enough, I call it avocado salad. And it's very simple. It's just avocado chopped into cubes and some onion chopped up and some tomato chopped up and then a little bit of seasoning. So let's go to it. First thing, always remove the little nubbies from your avocados. It makes it easier. Stems. Pop them out. That way when you're taking the meat out, like I say, you don't have to throw those in with it. And these ones don't have it. Let's see, this one doesn't have it. Okay. So then I'll do the old, now normally I do the old cut and roll this way to get my avocados open, but I'm going to show you another way of doing this, particularly because we're cubing this avocado. We're going to cut it into cubes. You can go lengthwise around the avocado, and then you can, twist it, pop that out, and then do the old knife trick, pop the seed out. Just make sure it doesn't fly off on the floor. And then, instead of scraping the meat out like I normally do, you can actually take a knife and cut down to the shell like this a few times, and then you can cut this way a few times. Get all the way down in there. And then you take a tablespoon and scrape it out. Let me do this over a bowl. Now actually there's another way. I'll show you another way of doing this. Okay, and you've got cubed avocado. I don't usually do that because I'm not really good at it, but if you practice makes perfect. Now another way to do that I've seen, and I've never tried it, but let's see if we can do it, is to do the same thing, cut the squares. This is a nice ripe avocado. I think one of the reasons why I don't do it is because sometimes I get avocados that aren't that ripe, and it doesn't work very well with them. But okay, so you cut your cubes, and then instead of doing that with a spoon, you just push the stuff out of the skin. Now I've seen people run their thumbs around it and just push it out like that. Well, that's another way of getting it out. I don't like doing that because it's messy, but that's another way of doing things. Okay? So, back to my way. I like my way because I'm used to it. Zip, 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 pop, pop. Zip, 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 pop, pop. Now, I'm going to move these over a little bit, and I'll just take the old tablespoon and do that. Get a few of these out. That one's got some fiber in it. Okay. These are nice avocados. They're nice and organic. Creamy. A little bit more meat in there. I'll just toss that in. Okay. And we do this with 5 or 6 avocados. Just in case you didn't count. I'm a messy cook. I'm also a messy eater. If I eat noodles, I can't help getting it all over my shirt. There's a little bit of brown stuff on there. I'm going to throw that away. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little bit older. Okay. This is how I clean off the old. If they're a little bit overripe and they're a little brown, then I just scrape the outside with a tablespoon. Okay, and then just. That's how I like doing it. I think it's the engineer in me. My background is in engineering, so Engineers tend to like overcomplicated, overbuilt things. Move this back since I've got other stuff on the board that I'm showing you. I'm just going to scrape that into my bowl. All right. That's beautiful. Those colors. Okay. And I'm going to juice. Well, let's go ahead and cut the onion first. Dice the onion. Cut it thin. And do this. That's 1/2 of a medium yellow onion. I'm a hummer. I hum. I was down at Hippocrates Health Institute studying, and there was a girl in my class, so she was also a hummer. And we would be sitting doing stuff humming. And we were working in the Hippocrates kitchen, humming together, chopping stuff just like this. I'm a hummer. Okay. Throw the onion in there. And then the next thing we do is we take 1 pint of grape tomatoes, or you can take 2 medium tomatoes and dice them. I like grape tomatoes because they have a wonderful flavor. And we just mix them in. Lost one. And I'm going to take the juice of 1/2 of a lime. You could use a lemon as well. Stick the old fork in there. Give it a twist and a squeeze. Get all that juice out. I love lime juice. Did I say that? Did I tell you I like lime juice? I like lime juice. All right, so we got lime juice and we got a little pulp. Everybody's happy. And we're going to take a garlic press, throw in 2 cloves of garlic, and give it a squish. And there goes the garlic squishing out, and we just cut it off, scrape it down in there. And then we're going to take about 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of whole unrefined salt. This is Himalayan crystal salt. And we'll sprinkle that in. And then we just stir it up. You could also add black pepper if you wanted to, that's good. Or you could add cayenne pepper or jalapeno pepper. You could add cilantro if you like that. Okay, get those tomatoes in there. Get all nice and mixed up. Mm-hmm. And that is so simple to do, very easy to make, tastes great. It's quick and easy lunch, dinner, whatever. Avocado salad. Okay, so I'm in the Bahamas, and I'm looking for raw food at this fancy hotel I'm staying at. So I go across the street to a fruit stand, fortunately, and they've got coconuts. I said, oh, great, I'll live off coconuts. So you have to understand that my background is in engineering, and I tend to overthink and over-engineer things. And so the girl at the counter says, she sees me with a coconut. She says, so how do you break open a coconut? And I said, well, you know, I have this really complicated method of putting it in a vise and using a knife in a particular way and then using these different tools and things. And she said, no, man, you just crack it on the sidewalk. And so, you know, like an idiot, I had an epiphany, and so that's what I do now. I just crack the coconut on the sidewalk, and I use a butter knife to pry the meat out. And depending on the coconut, sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's more difficult. But that's what I'm going to do, so here we go. So you just take the coconut, smack it on the sidewalk, hard enough to crack it, hard enough to get the juice out, but not so hard that you shattered all the pieces, and it's not that hard to do. And put it over a bowl and let the juice drain out. And sometimes you may have to knock it more than once, but typically if you do, you get used to it. You just crack it one time, you let the juice run out, and then once the juice is gone, then we can crack it open more. And I've got a hammer in case we need to use a hammer to break it up, but usually I don't even need a hammer. And sometimes it's good to shake it and turn it a little bit. This coconut doesn't have a whole lot of water in it. So I'm going to crack a little bit more. And there we go, get some more water out. It's still got water in it, so I'm going to, there we go. And there it comes. All right, so I got the water out and the coconut's cracked in half. And so now I'm just going to bust it up some more. And usually I just smack it on the sidewalk. But this was a pretty tough one, so I'm going to turn it upside down and bust it up a little bit with a hammer. Crack a little bit more of that one. See, that whole piece came out nice. That one came out nice. And, you know, you may not want to do this on a New York City sidewalk, but if you've got a sidewalk or something hard around your house that you can do this on. And then it's just a matter of, this stuff pretty much just falls out. But then it's just a matter of prying it off the shell like that. And it usually comes off pretty easily. Occasionally you'll get a coconut that's pretty tough to get out of the shell, but usually you can pry it out in big pieces. If you can't, if it's one that's tougher, you just break it up into smaller pieces and pop it out with a butter knife. You just get the butter knife up between the meat and the skin and just pop it like that, and it'll come right out. But usually it comes out pretty easily. Okay, so that's how you crack open a mature coconut. Do you like coconuts? Do you like tomatoes? Then you're going to like this, because this is coconut tomato salad, and we're going to make it. It's very interesting. Let me show you what we do. First of all, we're going to take the mature coconut that we shelled, and we're going to cut it up into ribbons, and we're going to run it through the juicer with the homogenizing blank to shred it. We're going to have shredded coconut. And this, you can see this is just a solid piece of plastic. I'm going to put that in our juicer. And then we have the option of using a large or a small hole for the nozzle. We're going to use the large hole for homogenizing stuff. The small hole is for juicing. The large hole is for homogenizing. So we'll set that off to the side. We're going to use the large hole, put it in our juicer cap, and we'll put that on. Okay? And then the coconut is going to come out here shredded. We're going to feed it through the juicer. It's going to come out here shredded. And so I put a bowl underneath the nozzle. And usually there may be a little bit of juice come out, but typically we don't get much juice. And then we just take our coconut and we slice it into pieces that will fit down into the juicer. Something about like this is what I do. And when you shell the coconut, you know, it's going to have a brown skin on the eye of it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just no need to get rid of that. It'd be pretty hard to get rid of it, actually. It's stuck on there pretty good.